first letters to the palm matters. Every tear, let it fall. What I'm on, lost without love. Got freedom in my lungs, still throwing up the dough. This what I'm on. Thought you had enough, but baby we ain't done. We can overcome. Yeah, I'm on, lost without love. Got freedom in my lungs, still throwing up the dough. This what I'm on. Thought you had enough, but baby we ain't done. We can overcome.
Okay, so today we have my pastor, Pastor Diane Duckett, founder of I Am Success, and she's also our life coach. So y'all gotta get into that. You know.
Right.
What's something new you have learned about yourself?
So something new that I have learned about myself is that my superpower. Yeah, I have my own superpower.
Yes.
Have my own superpower. That means like my voice carries. When I walk in the room, everybody is at a standstill. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like when I walk into a room, no matter where I'm at, it could be school, it could be the church, it could be the grocery store. It's like attention.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm not gonna lie. Look, you walk like it. You walk like it. Well, when you come through, I just be like, I could tell. Trust me. You definitely, that definitely comes off of you. So
Right.
that just shows
Right.
that you are actually embracing that. So that's some good stuff. Look at Sam her fingers.
Yes, I'm writing that down.
You like that?
I like that a lot. I just feel like with that, it means like you set the atmosphere. Like when you come into a space, you can set the atmosphere, which is definitely very powerful.
Yes.
That means that you're a powerful person. So with that kind of power, like I would say, are there any challenges with that? Like with that kind of power?
Actually not. Because like when I set the intention to set my atmosphere, it's like this is what I want my atmosphere to look like. This is what I want my atmosphere to feel like. You know what I'm saying? And so like anything that's trying to come into my atmosphere, it can't work. Right? Because I've already set it.
Yes. Was it always, what made you get there? Because sometimes it takes someone a long time to get there. Like trying to fill yourself out, like who you are. So I feel like that comes with a lot of you knowing yourself. Yes. You have to know who you are.
Yeah, so it did take me a minute. It took me a minute to get there, right? Because every time, like when I used to work for the government, whenever I would go into the office and stuff like that, it was like the lights off, people quiet, everybody's in their own little, office, not talking to each other, and it was just like, it just didn't feel right. And one day I just, got up and I was like, I'm turning these lights on. Turned them lights on. I said, good morning, good morning, good morning. And it was like, because of that made me realize that when I did that, it's like everybody's mood changed. Everybody's mood changed.
It seems like you did that in yourself too.
Yeah,
because you can do that in yourself. Your inside will reflect on the outside. Like you can tell by like just the people's home, and how they set it, how they feel inside. Like I remember when I used to live in my old apartment, and my mom was like, "Why it's so dark in here?" I'm just like, to me, I didn't notice because it was the norm for me. So it's like I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people out here who think that's normal to just sit in the dark and that's how they feel inside.
So like darkness is like depression, right? So like when you're sitting in the dark all the time, that means you may not feel like you're depressed, but that's a form of depression.
Yes.
And so it's like, open the curtains, bring in the light, because when you open the curtains and bring in the light, you have a different mood, right?
Yes.
You want to go somewhere, you want to do something.
Right.
When you're sitting in the dark, I'm just gonna lay here.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just going to sleep.
Yes.
I'm going to watch TV. I'm just going to be lazy. I'm not going to do nothing, right? And guess what? You're going to keep doing nothing until you open the window, open the curtains.
Wow.
Set in the atmosphere. I like that.
You got to set your own atmosphere.
Yes.
What do you want your atmosphere to look like?
Well, that spoke to me heavily. Like when you were talking about like when you went into your job, you were just like, no, that just taking responsibility, like you took responsibility for your own atmosphere.
Yeah.
And that is powerful because it can impact other people.
Right.
Like, let's lift this place up. But first, let me be the person to take responsibility and lift this place up for myself. Because I know I don't want to sit here in the dark with y'all.
Right.
Yes.
I have to come into agreement with this space.
Right.
I can be the light. And if you guys are with that, then let's be with it.
Yeah.
So I just like that a lot. I think that actually lifts me up. That lifts me up a lot.
So guess what? You have a superpower.
Come on!
Give that superpower.
I love that.
Superpower to work, right?
That's healthy.
Yes.
That's healthy for yourself.
Yes.
Like, because sometimes all it takes is one person to move. So you moved and you acted on that. But imagine if everybody was just coming there, their mind is not going to click to adjust something like that. They're just going to keep going with the norm of that. So that's how it is with like ourself and our self-worth and everything. Like we reflect our self-worth to others.
Right.
So
Right.
That's a good stuff.
That's a good stuff. Name one major self-improvement you are working on.
So physically, just making sure that I maintain my body physically. Like I want to be physically fit, right? Because when God has you on assignment, like if you just, not working out or not eating right and stuff like that, you may not have the capacity or the energy to fulfill that assignment.
That's true.
It's like you're doing a whole lot of inside work. Like
So when I Am Success is about inside work.
yes.
That's what I coach. When I coach people, like you may say, well, I'm having a problem with so-and-so. Like I don't care about so-and-so, I care about you. Right? Let's work on you. Let's see what's going on with you.
Right.
So that you can change, how you feel. You can change your narrative, right? You can change everything about yourself.
Yes.
And stop blaming people for it.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy because one episode, we were talking about like perspective. Like you change, everybody has like this set perspective, but sometimes you have to change your perspective on life. Like you have to change things up because that perspective probably wasn't working for you.
Yeah.
It's not going the way that you wanted to go. Like it's like, example, if you're blaming people all the time for how you feel, it's like you can't blame other people for how you feel. You have to just you can only change you and what's going on inside of you. So that's some healthy stuff. I like that.
I love that so much. And that just goes back to that responsibility. Like, can't nobody do it for you the way you can do it for you. So don't depend on other people to, make you feel good about yourself, about your life, about your body.
Right.
Go and do something about it. If you see something that you don't like in your life, do something about the quality of your life.
Right.
And when you guys were talking, I just heard in my head, choose your heart. Because it's easy. Both situations are different when we're mad at the world and we're mad at people because of where we are. And then when you that's hard. That's the one hard side. And then you have another hard side where you are like, where you do take responsibility. That's still hard. So it's like, you got to choose your heart. Are you going to be at home? Are you going to be mad at the world? Are you going to be in the dark? Or are you going to take the path that's in the light? That path is hard too.
Right.
But it's better than doing the other side. So choose which one you want.
Right. And when you said that, when you say choose which one, right? I always ask myself questions. Is this worth my energy? If it's not worth my energy, I don't need to partake in it. If it's worth my energy, then I'm going to go all in.
That's good. That's good. That makes a difference because, like, in us, we really do know. Like, we know the real answer. Like,
you be ignoring
I
it
know
though.
I'm wasting time. Like, I know I'm not really. I know this is not benefiting me. So yes, that comes with awareness. Like being able to ask. A lot of people can't do that. Like a lot of people don't know what questions to ask themselves when they're in these situations or in these dark places. It's like, I don't really know how to get out of this. I don't know how to navigate what I'm experiencing. So being even able to ask questions or know what resources you have available, like, oh, let me go talk to so-and-so because I know that they can give me life. Some people have been in these spaces for so long, they really don't know what to do. And so, like, that's why we need each other. That's why it's good to talk. And that's why it's good to have community because, you don't have to be in that space, you know. Reach out, like ask questions. No question is a bad question. Don't let the devil lie to you and tell you, oh, they're not gonna care, or you know, this is just what it is. No, it don't have to be that way. So
does it take you to get tired for you to see that?
Sometimes it will.
Yeah.
Like, because self-discovery is called self-discovery. Self-discovery is hard for many, right? Because people do not want to study themselves, right? People do not want to study themselves. Like, what makes you laugh? What makes you tick? What makes you cry? What makes you happy? Like, people do not want to, what makes you angry? What makes you sad? Like, people do not want to study themselves, right? Only if you're studying yourself, right, you'll be able to ask the hard questions.
Yes.
You'll be able to ask any question that you need to ask to see if it's going to be in alignment, you know, with, you know, God's will for your life, or with, you know, the plan or assignment. You know, you got to be able to study yourself.
Yes. I'm getting to the point where I have to stop waiting for it to get real hard, real bad for me to start doing that. Like, I want to actually listen the first time I learn that lesson, but I don't. Like, it would just keep going on, keep getting worse. Wait, see, Denasia, look, you keep. Why do you keep doing that to yourself? Until I actually get real tired. I'm just like, yeah, no.
And you shut down.
I don't like that. I don't like that, because then I'm not thinking about it. Well, no, it shouldn't take me that long to get tired. Like, it should be tired. You should be tired already because you've been there and you've done that. Why you keep doing that to yourself? I'm like, that's something that what?
No, go ahead.
That's something I gotta work on. I don't like that. Yeah.
She don't like that.
I don't. I'm just like, because well, we all are in our head all the time, but like I'm doing a lot of reflecting. So those things are that I'm starting to see, like, pick up on myself. Like, girl, like, why you keep going through that all the time? You gotta stop that mess. But you,
you just got me thinking, like, what kind of, when you were talking about what you were talking about too, like, what kind of perspective, how are we looking at ourselves? Like, to be able to ask yourself those kinds of questions, because at the end of the day, like, we're always having conversations with ourselves.
Yes.
But most of the time, if we don't know how to navigate and do that deep work, like you said, we're having the wrong conversation with ourselves. So perspective is so important. Like, how are you looking at yourself? How are you talking to yourself? Because we talk to ourselves every single day. So it's like, how does somebody shift from having a poor conversation with themselves to having a more compassionate conversation with themselves? Like, what like, does that have to do, like, when you get tired? Because when I get tired of something, like, in the past, like, now I know how to practice better awareness and have better conversations with myself. But I know in the past, like, it would just be easier to just condemn myself and to just be upset, like, you know, this is all my fault,
right?
You know. So how does somebody, like, shift from doing that to having more, like I said, compassion and gentleness with themselves? Like, you know,
first you gotta get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. That's the first thing, right? Number two is, like, what lens are you using? Are you using the world's lens of yourself? Are you using your mama's lens of yourself? Are you using your child's lens of yourself? Are you using those relationships that you once had of yourself?
That's so heavy, because like, when you said it, that is heavy. Like, I don't think you know, that just, like, turned like a switch on in me. Like, that's crazy. Like, me, I'm an analogy person. So, like, when I seen that, all I seen was switches coming on. Like, which lens is you looking through? Now, I'm gonna carry that everywhere. I'm gonna carry that.
The only thing you should be looking through is the image of God.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because He created you in His image.
Right.
Right? And in His likeness. So everything about you is in His image, right? And in His likeness, right? And so no matter what the world is saying about us, you know, what our mama is saying about us, our daddy is saying about us, those ex are saying about us, our spouse saying about, like, that doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter. The only lens that I want is God's lens about me.
Yeah.
That's so.
Because what did God say in His Word? That we are the apple of His eyes.
Right. That's
we
love.
are the apple. That's love.
That is love.
That's
and
love.
It's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. But why is it like, why? You know what is so sad? because of those other voices, and then I'm gonna go back to God.
But you are fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
So we can bring it back to the word of
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Right? That's how you build your self-confidence.
Yes.
That's how you build your self-esteem. That's how you're able to see it differently. You know, see in a different lens.
Yeah.
Is when you apply the scripture to every thought that you have. When you apply the scripture to every thought that you have, it's going to be a game changer.
Yes. I always see myself in my head like a tug of war game. Like, and it's like a whole bunch of people going back and forth. Like, it's like a good side, it's like a bad side. And sometimes when I feel like I'm about to win over something, like when I triumphed over something that I've been fighting with for a long time, I see people just grabbing, a whole bunch of people grabbing like the winning side and then pulling the bad down. And I'll be like, yeah, like what? Like what? Like, come on, man. Like, I overcame that. That's crazy, right?
Yes.
So that's something that I see all the time, but it's becoming more of that. It used to be more of the bad. And I'm just like, damn, like, but I'm starting to see that tug more. So that's healthy.
And sometimes you have to silence yourself, right? Just don't say nothing, right? Even when your thoughts are going, you know, in different places, just silence yourself. Yeah. And you'll hear that small, still voice speaking to you. Yeah. And it will give you the answer that you need.
Right.
I love that. You know what's let's bring it back to God. Because what you were saying is like, God is the one that defines us. He is the one that defines us. Not what you say about yourself, not what anybody else has said about you. Those things don't matter. It's about what the final word that God has said about you. And not even the final word, the word he spoke about his children before time began. Because he predestined and called all of us. So what does that mean? That means that there has already been a lane for you, knowing that you're going to be in this world, knowing that it's going to be the way it is, and knowing before those people even was here to say what they had to say, before those thoughts and things even came into your mind to create your world, your narrative, and your perspective of yourself and others. God has already spoke a word over you specifically. He has already said something about you, like you said, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. You are the apple of my eye. I think about you as all the grains of sand on the sea, on the seashore. That's how much I think about you more than that. You know, that's so much love. So, but when we're in this world, you know, we're looking at the people and what they say about us and how mean and nasty they are to us. You know, it's like when I look at God, I believe he's the same way. So how can I think that he is compassionate, and how can I think that he is not ashamed of me, you know, and that he's this loving father when I've been told this and that? It's so hard. But we, like you said, we have to, what did you say? You said we have to get out of our way. We have to get out of our way. And because God is bigger than our minds. And I feel like I've done that so much, like where I've limited him to my head. And it's just like, no, girl, he's like outside of your head. Like,
and when you said through different people's like lens, I thought about like Build-A-Bear. Like, you're grabbing something from what you think someone thinks about you, and you're putting it on yourself. It's like, but until you get that off of you, you won't know like who you actually are.
Girl, that is good. Build-A-Bear.
And so it's like, so that's like all type of different traits that don't fit you. Ooh. Like that's not who you are.
It's tacky.
It is. It's all over the place. Like, you can't even coordinate.
That's tacky.
You gotta know how to coordinate.
But Jesus gave us good clothes. He put on some good values on us. Let's go deeper. He gave us good values. He gave us good things. And like you were saying, that tug of war, he gave us the victory. So that winning side, you're always on the winning side.
Yeah, but we don't see that.
We don't see that. So it's like we need to, that God and how he defines us. And what he says about us, and the fact that the victory is his, the battle is already won. There was no chance for the devil,
right?
You know, so now it's just a matter of really believing that and living that. So we do have to get in that word. We do have to detach from those narratives and things for the truth.
I believe it says in Romans, maybe chapter 7, it talks about us waging war within ourselves. It says something, I'm paraphrasing, that what I want to do, I don't do.
Yes.
And that I do, that I don't want to do, I do. Something like that, right?
Yes.
And within that pericope, it also shares with us that, you know, we are at war within ourselves.
Yeah.
So the war that we wrestle within ourselves, it's in us.
Yeah.
It's not the people around us. It's what we are waging, the war that's within us.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That is good.
I was about to say something. What was
We'll
it?
come back to you.
That was good.
Yeah.
It's gonna come back.
Yes, it will come back.
But yeah, definitely a war, like a war within yourself. I'm oh, there you go. Okay, back.
There you go.
Yeah.
See?
You know how when you had those moments where you like,
Yeah.
you just want to pull your hair out and just like slam everything. That's the war that is within.
Yes.
That's the war that like you're having within yourself.
That's like, dang.
Yeah.
But I wrote down today that this is my growing pain season. Like, I'm being stretched in areas that I didn't know I could be stretched in. What else did I say? Oh, I pray that God clean me up, but you can't be mad at how He cleans you up, right?
Nope.
You can't be
Not
mad
at
at it
all.
because He gonna do whatever. Like in the house, right? You have a certain thing to clean with a certain for a certain mess, right? So whatever He used to clean you up, you can't be mad about that.
Can't be mad about
right?
it.
Because I went to the store the other day to get a scrub daddy, right? Because your pot was dirty and it didn't work, right?
Some things
Right.
just don't
That
work.
just didn't work. That didn't work. But that don't mean that you're not gonna keep trying to clean that pot. Right, especially if it's a good pot.
Right.
We gonna utilize that. You know what I mean? We use that pot all the time. That's why it's dirty, right? So you gonna figure out whatever you need to clean that pot, right?
But
So
how dirty is the pot?
the pot dirty,
Let's go get some Coca-Cola.
right?
No, really. Some Coca-Cola. Get some dishwashing liquid. Pour in that Coca-Cola. Like put it out in a bucket, right? And a little bit of salt, right? Mix that thing up and put it on your pan and scrap it right on.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
Oh, give us a technique.
Yeah, but
See, that's wisdom.
Yeah,
That's wisdom.
real rap though.
It's very spiritual. I love the analogy.
Yeah, because it seems like even with God, He knows a recipe to clean you up.
Come on.
So if He gonna let Him do what He got to do, but in that process of Him stretching me and cleaning me up in that certain area, and I'm seeing what He's exposing of myself, He does that with me a lot, like exposing traits of myself. It's like that. I didn't see that.
It hurt.
Like that. You know, like goodness gracious, I know that was there. A little, you know, what I mean, a little blemish. You know.
So you know how you got a pot, right? In the clay, and how people are molding it, right? And sometimes as they're molding that pot or that clay into a pot, and if it's got some like, you know, defects or whatever, they'll smash it right back down.
Yes.
That's what God does to that and start it all over again, right? Because He is shaping and He is molding, right? And He is not gonna, you know, release that pot until it is perfectly made.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes. And we want that. I'm gonna say this. It's not pleasant going through that. It's really not, like you were saying. Like it's not.
It's like,
But
so basically, get off the pot. You need to be get off the pot. We on the pot too
Well,
long.
you may not want to get off the pot, right? Because you want to be able to allow Him to mold you.
Yes.
The way that He needs to mold you, to shape you.
Yes.
The way that He needs to shape you.
Right.
Like, so you may not want to get off that pot
Yes.
too early.
Right.
Because if you get off that pot too early, there may be a chip there.
Yes.
You may see a little chip, and guess what? It's going to take a minute to fill in that chip.
And what do you do when it dry? What happens with? Don't you gotta put it in some fire?
So,
can you melt that?
so yeah, you gotta put it in the fire, and when you put that clay in the fire, you know what I'm saying? It's burning. You know, it's like what is it doing? It's what's the word do I want to use? It's like purifying it. It's purifying it.
Yup. Then you put that gloss on
And
it.
then you put the gloss on it. Come on, now.
That's good.
And then look, right? Made in my image.
Yes. Put a signature on it.
Yes.
But He put his signature on it before He sealed it.
Yeah.
What does that say?
That mean it's fingerprints all on you.
Yeah.
Like I smell like Him. That's some good stuff. Got me over here overwhelmed.
If it's anybody that I would want to mold me and touch me and form me, it would have to be God. Because he got the right materials. He know the right pressure. He not scared. He's not scared. Like if I go to a pottery class, before I sit down on that seat, I'm be like, I don't want to mess up. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I really trust my hands to make whatever that
he probably sit down. He probably sit down and be like,
come on, man. He's like, I'm not new to this.
Oh, she ready?
I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. There's no doubt. There's no fear. There's no question that he's going to make what he knew he wanted to make. Right. So it's like us being in that creation seat, being molded. That we know. See, now I've been only walking with the Lord since 2022, and what I do know about God now is that, I can trust you, God. I can trust that you actually have the medicine that I need for everything that I've been through these past 25 years. So it's like, I can sit here. It's going to hurt, but I know that at least you got the remedy to put me together and the medicine and the things to heal me. So it's like, we could sit there.
Remember at the other night when we was doing the prayer thing, the word that popped up for me, for you, was reassurance. So, and for Keith, it was alignment.
Okay.
Alignment, and yours was reassurance. So I was ready, right? So I looked up reassurance. Look up the definition of reassurance.
Okay.
So when I read it, I'm like, Dad, me and her be talking about that, right? So it sounded like what we usually talk about. But yeah, I had prayed before. I'm like, wait, what do I need to say to her? Because I was ready. I was ready for that. Because yeah.
Ooh, okay. Reassurance. The action of removing someone's doubts or fears. A statement or comment that removes someone's doubts or fears.
Because like from us just having like conversations and stuff. So when I heard reassurance, I said, let me look this up. I don't think that's right for her. But then when I seen that, I said, you are working on that, like your doubt and trusting him.
That's true.
Yeah,
that is very
yeah.
true. Like, that is very true.
Yeah,
that is where I'm at with God right now. Where I'm really just like, I'm in such a deep place with God where I know, like, oh yeah, you got me. And what's beautiful is he's showing up, and he's showing up. Like I could be thinking about something, having some kind of trouble, and maybe financially or whatever, and he come through and does something that I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm actively in real time experiencing God's provision, like all the different ways that he shows up to say, hey, like I'm here, like I'm here, I got you, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that is so. And it does do something to you. Like, whoa. Like, you are so reliable, more than reliable. And I love you for that. And I appreciate you for that. So then now we have the gratitude flowing. And that does something too.
Right.
When that Thanksgiving is flowing, I got chills right now. Just thinking about it. Like, when that gratitude and that Thanksgiving start flowing, then we got I'm just in love, like, and I'm secure. I'm so secure.
Amen.
So, God is just so good, and he shows up for us in different ways because he knows what we've all been through and what we've experienced. Security was a big problem for me. Yeah. So he's showing me like, oh, I got you. Like, you can trust me.
Yeah. Yes.
So I just,
we like to trust everything else. I'm like, you like, get out my way. Like, move out the way. Should you run for me?
Get out the way.
Yeah, that relationship. Yeah, it's definitely getting better. I definitely see you getting out your own way too. Like you definitely. She went to church. Girl wasn't going to church, but she went back. She found something. You found a place you love. So
I did.
That's what's up. That's heavy. You know that's big.
It is big. It is big.
Your little space. Yeah, you wasn't. You go to church. She's like, oh, I ain't going there. Girl, no, like, well, that's
I'm grateful now. I'm all up in. Look, I'm in New Life. I'm in New Kingdom, singing my heart out to God, And I'm
you stopped singing too.
I did. It started, now I'm singing. So it's like, God will do what he got to do.
Yes, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
That's crazy. I wrote down he's applying the pressure.
Mm-hmm. Look,
that's
it
crazy.
Actually did go into everything we were talking about.
Hey, I ain't cleaning the house for that.
Did I feel your nose? Did I feel
No, that's crazy. That's heavy.
No, she's not.
Like what?
That literally was
I
word
knew
for
it.
word.
Like what? I really wrote that at church. I'm like, come on now. You got to fix that.
I got the gift, you know.
That's insane. Yes. Like what? Like, y'all don't even know who's sitting right here.
Right.
Stop playing. But I already knew you was coming with some haymakers. I already knew. But yeah, but your presence itself is just it's really good.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, I feel like that's like what I got from you is like the resisting. Like stop resisting and like let yourself bloom.
Yes.
Like and stop trying to like move yourself out the way so that he could do the work inside of you. Do all that work inside of you because we can't clean ourselves up.
Right.
So yeah, that's some good stuff. Clean me up. Goodness grief, you the fabuloso on me. You know what I mean? For real, your Brillo pad.
Hey, and what he might use for you could be different from my house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So only God could do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. But it's a lot of comparison going on though. Like I feel like a major thing for me was comparison. But I've overcame that because what worked for someone else might not work for me.
Right.
And that's just overall like within yourself. So that's definitely something that I've overcome comparison. What you feel like you can overcome?
Let me think about that. Yeah, there's a lot. Like recently, there's a lot of things that, look, he just dropped it in my spirit. Talk about that. Values. I had a lot of distorted values. Like, in order for you to be loved, you have to perform X, Y, Z. And that's a distorted value.
Yeah.
And the Lord is like, no. Like, you are loved unconditionally, not because of that. So like he started showing me all of my distorted values and the insecurities and stuff like that. So now if I'm meeting somebody new or whatever, dating or maybe a new friend or whatever, new relationship, I will not sacrifice my values.
Amen.
You know, and what I love so much about what God is teaching me about that is, what was I about to say? I missed it.
So it's not cliche when people say, you show people how to treat you.
It's like, don't dummy down yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Don't trade your, and sometimes like when you've been in poor relationship dynamics, that we do that. We forget all about our values and our needs, our core values and needs, because of somebody else. And that is because of a distorted value. Something that's not true. Something that's a lie that you think you have to be in a way in order to be loved or whatever the case may be. And God is like, no, like don't do that. Don't trade. When you come into a relationship, it's not for you to do that. It's not for you to do that. When you meet somebody new or whatever, it's your values and theirs. You don't try to change theirs. They don't try to change yours. If they're trying to change yours,
that may not be the one.
Exactly. If they're trying to change yours, you might have to double check because that person could be trying to operate from their distorted values and put that on you. And then it's an abusive kind of situation or whatever the case may be. And the Lord does not want that for us. No, our values are supposed to kiss. And guess what? Your values, like I value safety. And how I break that down is I don't want to just be safe with you, but I want you to be safe with me. I value security. That was an issue for me. I had a distorted value in that area. I value security. I want you to be secure with me, and I want to be secure with you. It's a two-way street. If your values are selfish, they're 9 times out of 10, they are distorted and they're dysfunctional. You're not functioning in a way that's loving, that's kind. You're not doing that. You're doing something else. If you're doing something else, that ain't right.
Right.
You know? And that just reminds me of 1 Corinthians chapter 13,
where love is patient, love is kind. Anything the opposite of those is distorted. It's distorted, and you might want to double check how you're functioning, because and you know what's so crazy about that? Even pride can be so subtle and so quiet, and that right there, woo, that's dangerous. That pride is dangerous. That sucker will cultivate in all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yes, it do. Yes, it do. And keep you in your head. It keep you in your head.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like dragging it out. Like you just keep adding to what I already got going on. Like
yes.
You're stuck with pride. You're stuck in that way. Yes. So you can't grow when you have pride.
No. Yeah. You have to humble yourself, and you have to want it though. You gotta want it. Because I had a pride problem too. But you gotta want that. You gotta want humility.
Yeah, even when like I heard you say that you went through that, like that was an issue for you, right? And it's like you were exposed to that. So now when you see it now, you can like see it and identify it, right? Yeah. So like for people who see it and some people will beat themselves up because they're like, dang, like I let somebody do that to me. I let somebody make me, feel like that, whatever. But you learn from it. Yeah. Like, and you learn from it and you leave that thing there, like, and just soak that in. Like, don't let that keep dragging on. Like I told you, don't let that drag on too, but no, you caught it though. I like that. But yeah, don't let that stuff drag on. Yeah. Like some people will sit in that, like you will peep that and just sit in the fact that you went through that or you experienced that, but nah.
And that's the trick of the devil. That's the trick of the devil, because when we sit in that, it makes us feel like we're not worthy. Right. It makes us feel like we're not valuable. Yeah. That's his goal. His goal is to destroy that. Like, he wants to destroy what you believe about yourself, what you believe about other people. His ultimate goal is just to stop you from loving. That's his goal.
His goal is to break you down.
Yes.
To break you down so you can't see yourself.
Right. And you can't see others enough to love them either. I mean, if you can't see yourself, if you can't be a friend with yourself, that's like, you can't look in a mirror, none of that. Because all this is mirror. Yes. All this, like everything, like we mirror each other. Yes. So it's like, what are we projecting? Like, what are we?
Because I went through domestic violence. So, and it's crazy now because like when I look back on it, I can only remember snippets of it. Cause like I was so out of it. Like when people are in stuff like that, they just be out of it. Like I saw an old picture. I told you saw an old picture of me. I had black heads and stuff. I was just all over the place. I just was not myself.
Black heads?
I had black heads on my face. My face.
Oh, black heads.
Black heads.
Okay, I thought you said black hands.
No.
Okay. You had black hands, man. What you did?
What is that? What you been in?
I'm like,
what you touching? You want to clean it up?
You was on the dark side.
Right.
For real. Digging something.
Black heads is crazy. Black heads. Like the skin was just like, and like I said, like the inside was just pouring out on me. Like I looked at the picture, I don't know who that was. Like goodness grief, like how you? But I was definitely out of it. It looks dark looking back on that. Like now, but now it's like light. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because you find yourself, but you're not gonna find yourself till you out of it. Right. So but yeah, that was a process. I started seeing what I like. I started getting a little swagger back. You know what I mean? But that stuff is a process. So
and that's another thing that you have to pay attention to. Like, when life be lifing, you gotta pay attention to what your body is feeling, right? What your body is saying, right? You'll get pimples, right? You may feel sluggish, you may feel tired, right? And that's like not normal, right? And so like it's like, okay, why am I so tired? Why am I getting all these blackheads? Why am I getting all these pimples and stuff? Because life is life, and you're not taking care of yourself, right? You're so focused on what's happening in life that you really can't focus on the bigger picture God has for you.
Yes, because when I was in it, I'm like, it has to be something better than this. But I feel like that's where God met me when I said that. probably was like, dang, she's searching for something, right? I'm gonna meet her. So, but I remember sitting in the car, I was crying. I'm just like, man, this guy got me more than this. Like, I gotta get out of this. And he gave me a way out. But he stepped in that though, because that was, I knew again.
Right. Sure did.
Yeah, so I knew that was him, but I was seeking. I'm like, there has to be more to life.
Right.
So, but I pray for people who are in stuff like that, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all was praying.
Oh, well, I was praying for you, girl. I was praying, crying, boo-hoo crying for you. Shoot.
So can I ask you this question? I just want to ask you this question, right? So the question I want to ask you, did you worship him?
In that? Oh, I got a story. So one time, me in that domestic violence relationship, it was a time where he left. And I remember putting gospel music on, and I was in there praying. I had found my Bible. My mom had bought me a Bible. I found the Bible, and then I was playing. I was worshiping and worshiping in the house. I was worshiping or whatever, and then ended up right back in it. Right, but what made me go straight to start worshiping in it at that moment? So I feel like that was like a turn point in my life, because right after that, then things for him to start going downhill. So it's like I feel like God needed to see that. Well, he already knew that was going to happen, but like my heart was yearning for that, and that's what filled me within that day. It was actually a day. Then when he came back, I had the Bible on the stand. He laughed.
Wow.
He was like, I laughed. I said, why? He was like, because I seen the Bible on the table. I'm like, why would you laugh at the Bible, right? So, yeah, that's that evil. That's that war
spirit. That's a
bad
spirit.
It was,
there.
and it was me against him in that thing, and God yanked me right out of that thing, because he knew, he said I wasn't strong enough. That was my strength, right? So yeah, but he had some stuff for me to do, for us to do. Yeah. So I'm happy but no,
you didn't pick right.
I did not. Listen, I'ma say it. You never lied though. That's why I say, you know what? I'ma just chill, because this is not okay. But it shows up. What's inside of you, you're gonna settle for anything. But I started seeing a pattern within myself, attracting the same over and over again. You know what I mean? So it's like, Denasia, you need to deal with you. I can't sit here and blame this person for everything that he did, because I allowed it, because I didn't see myself. Right? So I've identified things within myself instead of just blaming it all on him, because he only did what I allowed. So but eventually I got tired, because my sister did my makeup one time afterward. And just a random, she wanted to try some new makeup. She's really good at makeup. And I had looked, when she finished, she was like, you want to see? I was like, yeah. I looked in the mirror. I was like, I had not seen her in a long time.
Aww.
I was like, thank you. But yeah, it was so good. I was so excited. But I told her, like, that was a shift for me. Yeah, it was a shift for me. You met me. I had a shift with you too. I shifted something with you, and you shifted something with me too. When you did my makeup, and when I came in the room and said something to you.
What did you say to me?
What did I say to you in that room? What did I say to you?
Oh. This girl. Yes. Girl. That girl right there. I came to my mom's house because I was going through something in my relationship, and I had to exit. And I came, spent the night at my mom's house, and Denasia was here, and she came in the room, we were just talking about the Lord. This was January of 2024, and I just had a feeling, I had a pull for God, because like I said, I had got married in 2023, and that whole year it was chaos. It was just so many things happening in my life, and I was not giving God any worship. I was not giving God no time. And when January 2024 hit, I was just like, I need to get back to God. I have to return to God. And
I came here because, you know, like I said, my relationship wasn't going the best. And I was just like, I just need to get out of that. And Denasia had looked at me when we was in the room. I was like, oh, please pray for me. I asked my mom and Denasia to pray for me. We need to pray. But right before we prayed, or either maybe it was right after we prayed, you looked at me. You was like, I'm expecting you. I said, but when she said it to me, it was like the Holy Spirit talking right at me. Because I remember I said I felt the pull that I have to return to God. So when she said that to me, and she just looking at me like this, she said, yeah, I'm expecting you. I heard the Holy Spirit through her saying like, you need to be right here. Like, I need you to get over here.
Right.
And as I'm in a place where I wasn't, I am all the way over here at my mother's house. He told me here, I need you where I'm at. Yeah. And like literally that week, I could not get out my Bible. I could not get out my Bible at all. Like, I was studying hard, and like it was just like the fire that I had in 2022 for God. It just came back like it never left. And it was like everything that he taught me in those times, it just came all the way back. Like it never left.
That's why you can't beat yourself up about the things that you went through. It's sad that I had to get beat on for me to get to God, because I didn't have that fire like you had, like you said you had in 2022. I wasn't looking at no Bible. I'm like, what, baby? That Bible was cut to dust, right?
Yeah.
But it took that. I always say God knew exactly how to break me. Yeah. Like he knew exactly how to break me for me to get to Him. So it worked. Because I'm just like, I can't.
The Bible verse that I sent you, Exodus 14:14, what it says, you know, God says, you know, what he says, God will fight for you. The only thing you need to do is be still.
Because I didn't do.
He will fight for you. You know, and all you have to do is be still, stay calm.
You were just talking about that last episode. Oh, God will fight for you. You talking about that?
He definitely fight.
Go to war inside.
He will fight for you. You know, God will definitely fight for you.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, because that definitely was like a shift. I feel like we both. So what? My shift was 2020. Was going into 2023. Then you were right behind me in 2024. And then after I started expecting you, I had the vision of the podcast. After that, so then I was like, I'm gonna do it by myself. But this was like, grab your sister, just bring your sister on, right? But girl, you fool, girl, you fool like that, okay. So, but our relationship definitely.
Yes, even that.
Yeah.
Like just even that.
Yes, it was not like we had some things like we wrestled with each other. Like we had some things that we conjured up in our head about each other.
See them lens again.
Yes. Yeah, like but then we start spending time together. Like then we started like showing like our being vulnerable and showing like we both not perfect, girl. Like so it's healthy.
So healthy.
It's my dog.
It's so healthy, and I'm so grateful for my sister. Like. My sister?
No.
Thankful.
You?
What did I do?
Oh, yeah. I forgot. I was there.
She was there. I came to church.
Yes, you did.
And you were preaching that day. And you pointed right at me.
Yes, you did.
I did.
You pointed right at me. I'm looking like, oh, God, no.
And what'd she say?
What did she say?
I don't know.
She said something that was close to God is expecting you too.
She said something. Yes, she did. You were preaching something on that. You were preaching something, and you looked right at me, and you came off the stage. You came over there, and you touched me. I was like, bruh, she don't even know. Like, well, she do know clearly, but that's crazy. So you remember that? That's how you know. Yeah, you different.
You did, and like you called her out of that dark. Like
you did. You came. You definitely.
I see you. Like God sees you.
I was sitting in the back.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Look at God.
I had my little all black on leather.
I was there.
But yeah, I didn't even want to go. I forgot why I went. But Yes, I talked about you on one of the other podcasts. I was like, yeah, Pastor Diane said she I mean, she was like, girl, listen.
Yes, she did. She looked right at you. Boom.
She did.
I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
Why?
I just had a feeling like.
Girl, you should have said something.
I just had a feeling that you were gonna be seen that day. Like God was gonna see you.
I was slouched in the chair. I be trying hard. But yeah, that definitely was I actually love like I guess we all have like a highlight of our life of when God brought us to him, and I'm pretty sure we all have different stories on how he got us, how he reeled us in, you know. So yeah, he definitely reeled me in, but when he reeled me in, he had to like really hook me with like 5 different hooks for me, probably 20. You know what I mean? Like 20 hooks, but he got me though. I appreciate it, you know.
Yeah.
Like I would say like 15 for you, like 15 hooks. You know what I mean? Real rap though, because my hook is more than yours.
Most definitely.
Don't do that. Don't be doing that, girl. You know what I mean?
That was a big catch.
He said, "Come on, girl."
She was a big catch.
A big cat for
I wasn't that heavy.
I was.
This
too.
girl.
She's hard-headed.
You need a whole neck.
Hard-headed. I always say that. I'm like he know I'm hard-headed because I'm gonna keep whooping you. I just keep taking. I was like, okay, oh, you know what I mean. But I was swimming at the bottom of that.
Wow.
That's see.
Wow.
The bottom.
That's deep.
But I always say like this, right? Before you can really come to God, you have to have your own God experience. Why do I say that? We have to go through something in life to get us to that point.
Right.
To have our God experience. Because if we automatically have God in our life, we would take God for granted.
Yes.
So we got to go through the trials. We got to go through the tribulations. We got to go through the divorces or the domestic violence. We got to go through that, right? For us to have the God experience that we need. Because what God's goal is to draw us closer to Him, right? And how can He draw us closer to Him? We got to be at the bottom of the pit.
Yes.
We got to be at the bottom of the pit.
Yeah.
So that we can recognize, oh, I need God.
Yes.
I can't do this by myself.
Right?
Experience
life without him.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's not going to work. Like, you missing this remedy. Right?
Yes.
Because,
we in our humanness, we think we can handle it all. We want to control the narrative. We want to control every aspect of our life, and we don't want to give it over to God.
Yes.
Because He knows the plans that He has for us. Right? Those are plans to prosper us and not to harm us, and to give us a hope in the future.
Right.
And so when we put it in our hands, His plan can't manifest.
Right.
His plan cannot manifest because we're trying to do His job.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was doing it. It's crazy you said that because, like I told you, when I was in it, I'm like, it gotta be more. Like, what's the more? And I feel like that's why a lot of people like commit suicide because they don't see the more.
They don't see the more.
The more. It's like what's more, right? So God was just like, I'm gonna show you more, right? And I'm gonna intervene in this, so you know it's me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like a blindfold over your eyes.
Yes.
Right? So if you close your eyes, you don't see nothing.
Yes.
God, where am I going? You don't see nothing. Right? And so that's when, those who are struggling, right? And want to give up their life or whatever, it's because they're blind. Like they cannot see in front of them.
Yes.
Like they cannot see, where God wants to take them.
Yes.
Because which somebody said it earlier, because they're all in their head.
Yes.
They're in their head and they can't get out of their own head. That's why I say get yourself out your own way.
And that's
Yeah. Oh my God.
That right there, that's torture. That is torture. When you have no hope, when you can't see, that's why I say God is bigger than, He's outside of your mind.
Yeah.
And we have to see Him that way, because you're right, like we be in our minds, we be so hyper focused on our problems and situations and circumstances that we're experiencing in the current, and that's just not the way to live.
No,
we need God. We need God, and we do have to want to see outside of it all. Zoom out.
Yes.
Zoom all the way out.
And that's why you have to look at it differently.
Yeah.
You gotta look at the lens. We talk about this lens.
Yes.
Yes.
I love talking about
I like
lens.
the lens too.
I'll talk about lens all day.
Yeah.
Right? That's when we start seeing things differently.
Right. Yes.
You know, you'll know when someone is seeing something differently because how they show up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That is so good. There's a saying that I remember that you remind me when you say that that I'm reminded of. It's like when you identify a problem, but you change. What is it? Something is no longer a problem anymore. The moment that you realize that, the moment you change something in there, your perspective about it. The moment you change your perspective about a problem, is no longer a problem.
Yes, I said in the last podcast, I said we gotta start painting the red flags different colors because paint peel. You know what I mean? I'm tired of getting lead. You keep changing it. Eventually,
Seeing all them little cracks.
You
know it's about to feel when you start seeing them little cracks.
Yeah, so you gotta repaint it again. That's a lot of work.
But listen, I like that analogy right there because when you start seeing those little cracks, right? It's like, okay, wait a minute, I got some work to do.
Yeah.
I got some work to do.
Yes.
Like you gotta recognize when God is showing you those little things. I got some work to do.
Yes.
Right? I got some work because if I don't do this work, you know, it's gonna.
He gotta do it. He gotta do that work. We can't clean that up. That's crazy. I be saying like the cracks, like you know, like the vacuum has that the different handle. We're getting certain cracks.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
the right
No,
tool.
God got the tool to get some cracks and stuff that we can't see within ourselves. Like He like, you know, you so focused on that thing right there that's wrong with you, not knowing that's triggered. This over here is triggering that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to deal with that, right? But depression comes depression comes when you're focusing on this one thing, not knowing that God's working on that thing behind you, right? Because it's only He can clean you up. He can see what you don't see. But the devil be like, that, remember that right there? You keep dealing with that. You keep dealing with that. Go ahead and manifest with that on your head. It's trying to distract you, but not knowing God behind you. God, like, I got you. Don't worry about that. Yeah, you stress over that right now. But once I deal with this right here, then you won't be worried about that no more, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, clean me up. Tired of being dirty. So,
Hey.
yeah. Forget that scrub daddy. I need me a Brillo pad. That scrub daddy didn't do nothing. I waste my money on that scrub daddy. So,
Definitely do nothing.
I said, why did work? She said, I said, what was that? A scrub grandpa? A scrub aunt? A scrub cousin? So, like,
lately
It was scrub daddy. You know them scrub daddies ain't worth nothing.
they do nothing for me. I thought I was doing something.
it's supposed to be a scrub mommy. That sounds like it's
A scrub daddy. Scrub daddy. That thing had me appalled.
Scrub daddies ain't worth nothing.
Yeah, man, I took that back. I don't care if she took it out the wrapper already.
This scrub daddy taking advantage.
Said it looked good. It got a smile on it.
yeah, right.
But hey, got you. Don't even do nothing. It looked good. That's crazy, man.
Ain't got a thing. Yeah.
Nada.
But I'm happy. I'm so grateful that you came. I really was looking forward to you coming.
Yeah.
Because you definitely have planted and watered some things in me.
Flawless victory.